half, Kawani Garris, ball fake, a lost start, and hits the jumper. He had 19. For Michigan, Ray Jackson, you got to stop ball. Jackson led Michigan with 16. Michigan a 1-point lead at the half. Maurice Taylor, the key for Michigan, triple team scores. He had all 10 of his points in the second half, and Jimmy King sealed it for Michigan. Dugan Fife. The bounce pass, the lost start. Jimmy King, Michigan wins its 7th straight against Illinois. For the first time this season, the Wolverines have won 3 straight. Dugan Fife hit 3 straight threes in the second half for his 9 points. The Fighting Illini shot just 34%. Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, second half. Remember this duo. Drew Berry, nice pass to Matt Harpring. Georgia Tech up 6. Late second half. Randolph Childress, the jumper. Travis Banks, rebound and score. Game is tied at 62. Georgia Tech, next trip down court. We keep harping on it. Drew Berry, Matt Harpring, Tech up 2. 14 seconds left. Rusty LaRue for 3. Wake down 1. One last chance for the Demon Deacons. Randolph Childress on the move. Tip, no. Georgia Tech holds on. Tech coach Bobby Kremen said, "We did not play well, and yet we won," which was a real positive sign. Coach, that's very positive. Drew Berry led the way with 18. Steve.
Lawrence Moten, 25 points from 2,000. The Orange getting out quickly. Otis Hill missing inside. John Wallace, the follow. He had 24. Now watch the effort by Lawrence Moten. Here he blows by the defense, gets the layup, but he's not done yet. The nice bucket, right? But he steals the inbounds pass and makes the bucket. Wouldn't count, but you have to love the effort anyway. The horn sounded. Orange up 15 at the break. Second half, Felipe heats up, or does he? Blows it, but gets a second chance and converts there. Then more from Lopez. Got it from there. Lopez got it from there. 35 for him, 29 in the second half, 12 of 24 shooting in the game. Red Storm back in it. Here's Moten running the clock down, hits the shot. Brian Mahoney knows he needs a basket to stay in this game, and that's not going to get it done. Right off Charles Midland's foot, the Orange recover. 91-87, your final. Moten finished at 21, so he needs 4 more to reach 2,000. 13th straight win for Syracuse, tying UConn once again. The longest current win streak in D1. Lopez is 35, ties a graduate who doubles as 25th ranked Penn's head coach. Kareem Towns, LaSalle trying to keep his team in the game. He had 17 in the first half. Jerome Allen, not much offense at him, but does it on D. Got to check the rearview mirror, has the block. Penn was 3 happy in this game. Here's Matt Maloney from 3. Got it. Maloney had 15 points, 4 threes. More from outside. Scott Kegler. Kegler at 19, and Penn, they go on for the victory. Looks like Penn put that UMass loss behind him. Quakers had 6 players in double figures, although the leading scorer, Jerome Allen, wasn't among them. He had just 2 free throws and 6 turnovers.
And check out the nation's assist leader, Randy Livingston. The Landers nollie, but a Bama 11-1 run in the end the half. Antonio McDyess, the follow, tied by 5 at the break. Second half, more Livingston. Behind the back, behind my world, lays it up and in. Livingston one more time. You've got to guard him from there. Tigers cruise. Landers Nolly scores a career-high 21, including 7 during a 13-0 run late in the second half. The music is pumped up as we check more scores.
Came in on Wednesday evening, and the offhander by Dante Calabria, Carolina up easily by 8 early on. Virginia kept it close. Corey Alexander, who played just 11 minutes all of last season, there for the Tar Heels this time, keeping it close. Way outside, Donald Williams, who had his own injury problems last year, hit 5 threes, had a season-high 23. But then Junior Burrow got loose on the baseline. Burrow had 18 of his 22 in the second half. Here come the Cavs. Off the save, Harold Dean for the lay-in. Suddenly they're within a bucket. Now it's a 3-point game, closing seconds. Won't go, but Burrow's there for the rebound. Outside to tie it and send it to overtime. Who's got it? And Rasheed Wallace just throws it to the sky. Jeff Jones almost came out with one, but now it has been 14 years since Virginia last won at Chapel Hill, right after Reagan was sworn in. They're now tied atop the ACC, are these two teams. They'll meet again February 19th in Charlottesville, where the Cavs. It's Jock Vaughn going all the way, crossing hands and sneaking up on the visitors. But check out the stick-to-itiveness of Mark Young, who missed the shot, then goes over the head and over Ostertag. Now the closing seconds of the half. Kansas using the clock wisely. The Gurley man. Greg from 40 feet, and suddenly it's another 6-point spread for Kansas. Second half, Wildcats getting back in it. Long range, Aaron Schwarzenruber. Then it's Belvis Nolan had a career-high 23. Kansas had too much firepower, though. And what a shot by Vaughn, who switches hands off one leg. Kansas barely holds on 78-74. They're 8-0 at home, 10 in a row overall in Fog Allen. They're now tied for first in the Big Eight. Jayhawks will host Nebraska here on Big Monday. In Memphis, Ole Miss hosting Kentucky. They're home away from home, just up the road. Roderick Rhodes speeds inside to Andre Riddick. Busted loose, the Wildcats up early. The Rebels hang tough. Ansu Cisse, say 3. Mississippi was looking an upset, led by one at the half, then the turnaround lefty hook by the freshman Anthony Boone. He had 15. Rebs still had the lead. Then Kentucky came a-calling. Rhodes again with a slam. He had a team-high 23. Delk and Rhodes, that's what they work on in practice. Delk ends up with a lay-in, and Kentucky turns what was a one-point game at the break into a blowout, 82-65. They're unbeaten, 5-0 in the SEC. The all-time series now 81-8, as Ole Miss hasn't beaten the Cats since the 80s. Rebels haven't beaten anyone outside Oxford in 6 tries this evening. Scotty Thurman drains the 3. He had 21. But Georgia was sticking with him. Off the break, Steve Jones twirling for the slam. Thurman couldn't find the range, but there is Corliss Williamson. He had 22. They hold off a strong Georgia effort. They've won 26 in a row at home. Duke is really struggling. Steve Wojciechowski for Eric Meek along the baseline. Duke started off well, and then NC State got rolling. Ashua Benjamin working in the lane. Got it. He had 23. Jeremy Hyatt will make the pick and ran up ahead to Benjamin. Tucks it under, lays it in. Duke is down again. 0-5 in the ACC. They lose it by 17. They've lost more than they did all of last season. Roderick Taylor, Missouri against Jackson State. And Dwayne Whitfield with the slammer had 24. Norm Stewart goes to his bench. Jason Sutherland, Rainbow got it for 3. Then Sutherland again bombing away. They win it by 14, 86-72. 24th ranked Florida at Columbia. Dimitri Hill, the slimmed down version, still finding his way in the lane, breaking free. Hill was unstoppable. Muscles his way to the hole there. Then Andrew DeClerc couldn't get the handle. Melvin Watson does. Wraps under, reverses off the glass, but that was about the only Gamecock highlight. Hill was just too much. He had 21. USC has lost 6 in a row. Florida wins it by 12. Indiana at Penn State. Bob Knight in Happy Valley, but not so happy. As always, Indiana up by 3. Less than 20 seconds left. Long range to tie. Won't go, but Dan Earl is fouled. He hits 2 free throws. Joe Paul looking on, saying our games were a lot easier than this. Oh, it won't go, and Indiana has still never lost to Penn State. 7-0. They win it by a bucket, 71-69. More from the top 25. 12th ranked Michigan State rolled over Northwestern. Sean Respert moves past Scott Skiles.